Hi, my name is Gibson, and I'm the creator of the Personal Development School. This is your daily breakthrough video, and in this video, I want to talk to you a little bit about why the dismissive avoidant attachment style often reemerges after weeks. And this is often when somebody is sort of in this dating stage, perhaps even entering into a relationship, kind of entering into the honeymoon stage, and may sort of just fall off all of a sudden without explanation. So there are common reasons for why this may happen. First reason is that DAs often have this shrunken emotional bandwidth. And when they start feeling really overwhelmed, they retreat completely. I literally think of like a tortoise going into its shell, right? It just like has to retreat and hold itself back and protect itself. And it sort of goes into its shell. And what happens is when the DA is in that mode, they're sort of in survival mode. And I want you guys to think for a moment, like if you've ever been in survival mode, right? You feel like really stressed, like your job is under fire, you're worried you're going to lose your job, or there's something wrong with one of your kids and you're hoping that the child is going to be okay and you're really stressed about that. Like when we're in any version of sympathetic nervous system mode, we stop thinking about how we affect other people in the same way because we're just trying to get through an event ourselves. And so I'm definitely not justifying this and saying, hey, this is fine behavior for that reason. It's really important that if you're the loved one of a DA, that you have compassion, but you also hold a boundary, right? There can be a balance. We can have compassion and understand, look, this person's in a hurt place, but also I have to let this person know how this behavior affects me and that it's not appropriate in the future. And this is what I'm going to need instead. And we need to work towards that commitment together. And if it doesn't change, then it may not be the right time to be in this relationship. So the first reason tends to be that sort of survival reason. Another reason is when a DA feels criticized and they feel misunderstood, they tend to, again, retreat, especially if they feel like they are hurt by something and don't have the proper words for resolution. So let's say that, something was going on for them and then somebody said like, you're not showing up, you're not being here, gave them a really hard time. And especially if they were sharp with their words, sometimes the dismissive avoidance like, oh my gosh, I feel too much shame. And shame is the emotion that makes us want to hide and retreat. Like if you've ever felt embarrassed or ashamed, what do you usually want to do in a situation? You want to like flee the scene, get out of there, protect yourself, hide. So this is another really common reason. Number three is when the dismissive avoidant starts feeling unsafe. If there's a lot of conflict because the DA is already in their sympathetic nervous system mode, they'll often feel like, okay, I can't take any more conflict. I'm already in this mode all the time. And DAs tend to be very conflict avoidant, really dislike conflict. It really weighs on them. Again, they don't have a lot of healthy modeling for conflict being resolved and it being something that can actually create more closeness and clarity between people. And they don't really see, it's because they haven't seen a lot of healthy conflict as a general rule. So this can be a huge reason as to why this takes place. And then last but not least, a reason that the dismissive avoidant can retreat. Oh, and before I say this too, if you want to do an entire course of just understanding the dismissive avoidant and all their pain points, wounds, challenges, what comes up for them, how they're affected by these different things, how to communicate with dismissive avoidance through pain points and challenges they're seeing, check out our dismissive avoidant in the 6 stages of a relationship course. It's the roadmap to understanding them, to working through conflict with them. So if you're on the receiving end, as a friend, family member, loved one, you have all the exact tools and you can sort of be in the know for like everything you need to do to move the needle and to see resolution and see things work, while also being fair to yourself and being mindful of your own boundaries and being able to set a deadline if something's not working and knowing where those boundaries are. So anyways, number 4 is DAs can go missing and pop back up after weeks when they're in their feelings minus their fears. Sometimes if they start developing feelings too fast, if they associate a lot of feelings with a lot of vulnerability, if they have a belief that, when they're vulnerable, it only ends badly. And if they're not really trusting that it's safe for them to be vulnerable, if they feel like, oh, vulnerability makes me weak or it's going to get me rejected and abandoned in some form, then they will really want to hold tight and hold back as a subconscious strategy to protect themselves. And this can be something obviously that has a massive impact on a relationship. So I will do a follow-up video about how to communicate with a DA who pops back up after weeks and like what to do in those circumstances. I feel like that's its own separate, very big topic. If you want to see anything specific, please let me know in the comments below. And I've been doing a lot of like situational breakdowns in relationships. So if you want to share any situations you're going through and I can sort of help splice it down in the comments below, then we'll use those for future video examples as well. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching and for being here. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next video.